In this video, I'll show you an itinerary guide on 60 things that you can do in Christchurch, New Zealand. So let's get started. Now, let's start our day at Riverside Market. This indoor market is in the heart of the city, which is a local favorite, not just for food, but the whole vibe itself. You'll find artisanal cheeses, local coffee roasters, handmade pastries, and even boutique gift stalls. Grab a flat white, soak in the atmosphere, and you've basically set the tone for a perfect Christchurch day. Next, let's walk across the street to the Avon River for punting. Once you've fueled up, take a peaceful punt ride along the Avon River. It's calm, scenic, and the boatman even wears traditional Edwardian attire. It's especially nice in spring with all the blossoms, but honestly, it's relaxing year round. And now let's stroll into the Christchurch Botanic Gardens. Right along the Avon is that this garden is massive and beautifully kept. There are seasonal blooms, exotic trees, and greenhouses with tropical plants. Even if you're not into botany, it's a really peaceful space to just wander, take photos, and have a picnic. Next, let's explore the Canterbury Museum. Connected to the gardens, this museum is surprisingly packed with everything from Maori history to Antarctic expeditions. There's even a quirky replica of the 19th century Christchurch Street. The best part, admission is free, though donations are always welcome. Next, let's climb the Christchurch Art Gallery's viewing platform. Just a short walk from the museum, this gallery is a mix of contemporary and classical Kiwi art. The building itself is super modern, and upstairs there's a platform where you can look over parts of the city. Great spot for some quiet time if you are into art and architecture. After that, we can take the historic Christchurch tram loop. The tram's not just transportation, it's an experience. It loops through the city's key spots, including Cathedral Square and New Regent Street. You can hop on and off all day, and the commentary gives you some fun local history along the way. Afterwards, we can grab a bite or cocktail on New Regent Street. This pastel toned street looks like something out of Europe, and it's packed of boutique shops, wine bars, and cafes. It's especially charming at sunset when the lights come on. Stop in at the Last Word for Whiskey or have tapas at Casa Publica. Next, we can visit the Quake City exhibition. A few blocks away, this museum tells the story of Christchurch's 2010 and 2011 earthquakes. It's powerful and sobering, but also inspiring in how it highlights the city's recovery. It gives a whole new appreciation for the resilience you'll see all around you here. Next is that we can head into Turanga, the Central Library. This is not just any library, it's a multi-story hub with striking architecture, tech labs, art exhibits, and city views from the upper floors. Even if you are not planning to read, it's worth visiting just to chill, grab a coffee inside, or do a bit of quiet people watching. And now you can cap off your day by driving or hiking up to the Port Hills. You'll get sweeping views over Christchurch and out to the Southern Alps. If you've got time, you can take the Christchurch gondola to the top or just drive up to the sign of Kiwi. Either way, it's one of the best panoramic views in the region. Now, you want to start the next day with breakfast in Littleton. You can drive through the tunnel or over the scenic hills to Littleton, a charming port town just 15 minutes from the city. And you could also grab a hearty breakfast at Civil and Naval or pastry from Glamour Cake. On Saturdays, their farmers market spills into the street with local produce, crafts, and live music. After that, you can wander at the Littleton Harbor waterfront. After breakfast, you can take a stroll along the waterfront, watch the fishing boats, visit the little galleries tucked between shops, or just sit and enjoy the peaceful harbor views. It's got a slower, artsy vibe, totally different from the city. Next, you can take the scenic drive to Governor's Bay. From Littleton, the road to Governor's Bay winds along the hills and gives you sweeping views of the harbor. Stop at the Governor's Bay Jetty for a photo, especially during golden hour. There's also a charming pub here if you'd want a quiet pint. After that, you can hike the Bridle Path or take the gondola. On your way back toward Christchurch, either hike the historic Bridle Path or hop onto the gondola. The hike is steep but short, about 45 minutes up, and gives you incredible views over the port and the plains. The gondola's more chill, and at the top, there's a cafe and even a time tunnel ride about Christchurch history. After the hills, you can go straight to the coast. Sumner is the city's beloved beach town. Surfers in the water, fish and chips on the shore, and plenty of spots to just sit on the rocks and unwind. Cave Rock is fun to explore during low tide. And now, right in the Sumner, you can pick up a scoop from Utopia Ice or one of the seaside dairies. Then take a slow walk along the esplanade, and there's also a mix of locals, dogs, kids and scooters, and sunset watchers. It's one of those simple but perfect Christchurch rituals. Now, if you are into views, you can drive or walk up to the Scarborough Hill for panoramic views of the coastline next. It's especially magical at sunrise when the light hits the water and the cliffs. Peaceful, a bit windy, and a favorite among locals. On your way back to the city, you can make a quick stop at the Tunnel Road murals. This stretch of underpass walls has been turned into a constantly evolving street art gallery with bold, colorful work by local artists and international guests. And now you want to stop for dinner at Little High Eatery. Back in the city, Little High is a modern food court done right. Multiple kitchens, one big social space. You'll find everything from Thai and Argentine barbecue to gourmet burgers and wood-fired pizza. Great energy and perfect if you're with a group and everyone wants something different. Now you can finish the night at Smash Palace. This is Christchurch nightlife at its quirkiest. Smash Palace is a bar made from converted bus with an outdoor courtyard, which is great for local beers on tap and a laid-back, music-friendly vibe. In summer, it's packed with locals. In winter, you'll find fires going and mulled wine. Now, the next morning, let's ride the Christchurch gondola. This is one of the best ways to get your bearings and take in the full scope of the region. As you ascend the port hills, the views stretch across the city, out to Pegasus Bay, and even to the snow-dusted southern Alps on a clear day. At the summit, there's more than just a viewpoint. You can explore the time tunnel ride that gives a light-hearted journey through Canterbury's geological and cultural past. Grab a coffee at the cafe with panoramic windows or start a scenic walk along the ridgelines. Now, if you'd rather earn those views, the Bridle Path is another way to go. So this is a historic walking trail that connects the gondola base with Littleton Harbor. It was originally used by early settlers hauling gear over the hill before the tunnel existed. It's steep but manageable. And along the way, you'll find plaques and rest stops telling stories from the 1850s. And at the summit, you can watch ships come into Littleton Port and see how the hills wrap protectively around the harbor. Next is that we can take a ferry to Quail Island. From Littleton, a small ferry takes you to Quail Island, a peaceful, uninhabited escape just 15 minutes offshore. Once used as a quarantine station and even for Antarctic expedition training. Today, it's a walking loop filled with native reforestation, old shipwrecks visible at low tide, and calm beaches, great for swimming in summer. You can bring a picnic and make a day out of it, but there are no shops, just serenity. Now, if you're back in town on a Saturday morning, the Littleton Farmers Market is a must. You can browse the Littleton Farmers Market. It spills out along the main street with stalls offering homemade chutneys, organic veggies, local cheeses, coffees, live music that echoes through the hills. It's got that small town buzz where you'll see locals catching up just as much as tourists discovering new flavors. You can grab a fresh croissant or a warm pie and soak up the vibe. Now, next, we can explore the art center Te Maratiki to Ora. This Gothic revival complex is more than just a pretty face. Post earthquake restorations have brought it closer and back to life as a hub for creativity. You'll find artisan markets, working artist studios, independent cinemas, science exhibits, and a cozy spot for tea. It's kind of a place where every corner reveals something unexpected. From Maori weaving workshops to astronomy lectures in the Great Hall. Next, we can visit the International Antarctic Center. Right next to the airport, this hands on experience gives you a taste of life on the ice. You can feel the chill in an indoor Antarctic storm room and take a ride in a rugged Haglund vehicle over an obstacle course and meet little blue penguins in their rescue habitat. With interactive displays on climate science, Antarctic history, and plenty of kid friendly activities. It's more than just a museum, it's part thrill ride, part education hub. After that, we can discover the Ernol Clark Reserve. This one is a hidden gem, even locals sometimes overlook. It's nestled in the suburb of Kashmir. This reserve follows a peaceful stretch of the Pauhu Heathcote River. A wooden footbridge, shady trees, native birds like fantails, and the soft sound of running water makes this spot perfect for a meditative walk or quiet reflection. It's not a flashy attraction, just one of those magical little pockets of calm. After that, we can tour the Air Force Museum in New Zealand, out in the Wigram, the city's original airport. This museum holds real World War II bombers, fighter jets, and hands on simulations where you can fly your own mission. You'll also find detailed exhibits on New Zealand's military aviation history, complete with personal stories, restored uniforms, and a flight simulator. It's surprisingly immersive and totally free to enter, one of the best indoor options on a rainy day. Next up is that we can cycle the Otakaru Avon River Trail. This trail is a beautiful symbol of resilience, weaving through the red zoned land where entire neighborhoods once stood. The pathway follows the river from the city center towards the coast, with picnic spots, native plantings, and birdsong all the way. Whether you rent a bike or walk it in sections, it's a peaceful route that shows how nature has reclaimed a once devastated part of the city. Next, we can spend time in Mona Vale Gardens. Right by the river, Mona Vale is a picture perfect estate with manicured lawns, duck ponds, rose gardens, and an old homestead turned cafe. The gardens are free to enter and feels timeless, popular for weddings but also for lazy afternoon strolls. In spring, the cherry blossoms explode into color, and in autumn, the golden leaves make it one of the city's most photogenic spots. After that, we can eat and unwind at the Welder. This converted warehouse in the Southtown district is a wellness themed collective of organic cafes, boutique food stalls, yoga studios, plant shops, and many more. You can grab a kombucha on top and eat a fresh seasonal bowl. Maybe you could browse handmade candles and even book a massage, all under one roof. It's like a mini lifestyle village and great for both a health reset or just a low key bite to eat with friends. Next is that we can relax at Hipona Taimoana Hot Pools, which is the New Brighton. Right at the edge of the Pacific Ocean, these beachfront saltwater pools are uniquely relaxing experience. You can soak in warm, mineral-rich waters while watching the waves roll in. It's especially magical at sunrise or on a chilly evening when the contrast hits just right. There's also a plunge pool, a steam room, and even private bookings available. A bonus tip, after you soak, you are steps away from the new Brighton Pier and cafes for a coastal walk or coffee. So now let's take a walk at the new Brighton Pier and beachfront. So this is Christchurch's most iconic pier, which stretches 300 meters out into the ocean and offers a panoramic view of the rugged coastline. Early mornings here are peaceful with joggers and surfers sharing space under soft pink skies. At low tide, families collect shells along the shore, and on weekends, buskers and small markets bring it to life. You can even fish off the pier, which doesn't need a permit. Next is that we can wander through the Christchurch Art Gallery Te Puna o Waiwaitu. And from here, this is more than just a beautiful glass building downtown. This gallery showcases a diverse mix of contemporary and classic New Zealand art. You'll find large scale installations, Maori artist work, rotating international exhibits, and quiet corners perfect for getting lost in color and story. It's also a lovely spot to cool off on a hot day, and there's usually something surprising going on, like a live sketch session, pop up talks, or interactive pieces. After that, we can explore the Margaret May Playground. This is not just for kids. It's a massive sculptural wonderland that's as much as public art piece as it is a play space. Built for post-quake as part of the city's reimagining, and the park includes giant slides, climbing towers, water zones, and flying foxes. Even adults find themselves tempted to play. Around the perimeter, food trucks, grassy picnic spots, and riverside walking paths make it ideal for a sunny afternoon with friends or family. Now, after that, we can visit the Canterbury Museum and see the Poa Shell House, currently undergoing redevelopment as of today, but really worth checking out the temporary exhibitions or exploring the outdoor areas nearby. This is one of the standout pieces and is the recreated Power Shell House, an eccentric, glowing room covered wall to wall in iridescent abalone shells, paying tribute to a Southland couple who turned their home into an art. It's quirky, kiwi, and unlike anything else. After that, we can ride again in the Christchurch tram. This restored heritage tram loops through the city center with commentary, making it one of the easiest ways to orient yourself or learn local history. It's not just a gimmick, it connects places like a New Regent Street, Cathedral Square, and the Arts Center. You can hop on and off all day, sitting on the polished wood seats while bells ding and old-timey conductors chat makes the city feel like a vintage postcard. After that, we can make a stop and catch a live show at the Court Theatre. So this is New Zealand's largest theatre company, which puts on everything from bold local plays to a classic Shakespeare and even improv comedy nights. It's now housed in a post-quake industrial-style venue that feels both gritty and intimate. You'll often be watching tomorrow's stars cut their teeth on stage with smart sets, great pacing, and surprisingly affordable ticket prices. It's a great way to plug into the cultural heartbeat of the city. Next is that we could also take a day trip to Akaroa, just a 90-minute drive from Christchurch. Akaroa is a French-influenced village nestled into a volcanic harbor on the Banks Peninsula. Think cheese stops, lavender farms, wine tasting, and harbor cruises where you can spot rare Hector's dolphins. The drive itself is scenic, winding through high ridges with breathtaking ocean views. It's one of the best short escapes, a total vibe change from city to seaside charm. Next, we could also climb Godly Head Coastal Track. This clifftop hike near Sumner offers unreal views across Pegasus Bay and out toward Kaikoura on clear days. It winds past World War II military installations, sheep-covered hillsides, and dramatic drops into the sea. It's not overly difficult, but the scale of the views feels epic. If you pack lunch and time it right, you can sit on a bluff and watch sailboats or dolphins offshore. It's kind of perfect. Next is that we could visit the Ferrymead Heritage Park. You can step back in time to early 1900s New Zealand at this living history museum. There's a recreated Edwardian township complete with a schoolhouse, bakery, cinema, and a fire station. On event days, trams and vintage trains run, volunteers dress in period costume, and the whole thing comes alive with storytelling. It's immersive and quirky, great for families or anyone with a soft spot for nostalgia and old school charm. Alright, now let's explore the Christchurch Adventure Park. Tucked into the Port Hills, this place is a playground for adrenaline junkies. With mountain bike trails, ziplining across tree-covered gullies, and scenic chairlift rides with massive views. Even if you are not riding or zipping, the base village has a relaxed cafe vibe and walking trails. It's outdoorsy, energizing, and just far enough from the city to feel like an escape without a long drive. Now, let's experience the Orakaru Avon River punting. One of the city's more serene experiences. You can glide through the central city in a flat-bottomed boat steered by a punter in Edwardian garb. The Avon River winds past the botanic gardens and historic buildings, making this a peaceful way to take in Christchurch's blend of nature and architecture. It's especially nice in the golden hour light, with willows hanging low and ducks drifting past. Next, we can take a walk at the Port Hill Summit Road. If you're not into full-on hiking, this ridgetop drive and walking track combo gives you a top-tier view with minimal effort. You can stop at scenic lookouts, take short side trails, or just breathe in the fresh coastal air. On clear days, you'll see everything from the Southern Alps to the Pacific Ocean. It's also a photographer's dream. Golden tussock, long roads, and cinematic cloudscape. As you can see, this photo is just brilliant. Now, after that, we could also tour the Isaac Theatre Royal. This beautifully restored Edwardian theater is one of the city's architectural gems. You can catch concerts, plays, or musicals here. But even just walking into the foyer with its marble columns and domed ceiling, it feels like stepping into another era. Occasionally, they offer behind-the-scenes tours where you can see the old trapdoors and rigging systems above the stage. Afterward, we can go back into the Riverside Market to enjoy local eats. The inner city food hall is a must-have for foodies. Packed with artisan vendors, it has everything from Vietnamese food and Greek pastries to local cheeses, coffee, craft beer, and then you could also grab a table by the upper level balcony and people watch. Or try a progressive lunch hopping between stalls. It's a place that feels alive, buzzing with locals, live music, and market energy. So it's recommended that you go here from time to time as a regular stop for eating food. Now, if you still have enough time for the day, or maybe you can just do this tomorrow, you can go into alpaca trekking at Shamara Alpacas at Akaroa. Just a 90-minute drive from Christchurch, this is a super unique experience that combines scenic coastal views with fuzzy, friendly alpacas. As you can see, they are very, very cute. At Shamara, you can actually walk with your own alpaca while learning about the farm and the animals' personalities. The hillside views over Akaroa Harbor are incredible, and the whole experience is surprisingly calming. Plus, there's an alpaca wool shop if you want to take something home, way softer than you'd expect. And now, once you're back in Christchurch, you can now discover the street art in the South District. So this is Christchurch Central City, which has become an open-air gallery. And nowhere is that more obvious than in the South District. So this is post-quake. This area transformed into a hotspot for massive murals and public installations. Bold, weird, political, and playful all at once. You can do a self-guided walk or just explore the laneways and see what surprises you. It's one of the best examples of how the city turned recovery into creativity. After that, we can chill out at the new Brighton Pier and hot pools. You can skip the more touristy beaches and head to the headest into the New Brighton. The pier is long and photogenic and great for a morning walk or some fishing, so we have already gone through this. But yeah, this is just exquisite and I recommend going here more than once. But the highlight here is the Hepuna Taimoana, the oceanfront hot pools. Soak in warm, salt-infused water while staring straight out at the waves. You can even book twilight or sunrise sessions. It's surreal to sit in steamy pools while the sky lights up over the Pacific. And now, let's end our day with a night tour at Orana Wildlife Park. Orana is already New Zealand's only open-range zoo, but the after-dark tours give it a whole new feel. You'll see nocturnal animals come to life, learn how lions and cheetahs behave at night, and even get to hear kiwi birds call into near silence. It's part adventure, part conservation, and feels way more intimate than a typical zoo visit. You'll need to book in advance, but it's absolutely worth it for something unique and local. And now, on the next day, we can do a Segway tour at Hagley Park. You've probably already walked around Hagley Park, but a guided Segway tour adds a fun twist and lets you cover way more ground without tiring out. It's surprisingly a smooth ride through botanical paths, past cricket ovals, and around the Avon River. The guides also often sprinkle in historical facts and quirky stories about Christchurch's rebuild and green spaces. Next is that we can visit the Yaldhurst Museum of Transport and Science. If you're even mildly into vintage cars, planes, or fire trucks, this tucked away museum is a gem. It's housed in an old Victorian homestead and includes a sprawling collection of historic vehicles, from old Morris miners to vintage race cars and even steam machinery. It feels bit like stepping into someone's passionate private collection because that's exactly what it is. Next, we can explore the Riccarton House Farmers Market. This is essentially called Christchurch Farmers Market, which just sits around the Riccarton House. It is held on the grounds of Riccarton House, as you can see right here, and it's not just about produce. You've got gourmet coffee stalls, fresh pastries, local cheeses, handmade spreads, and many more. You can grab a bite and chill by the stream under the massive trees. It's wholesome, relaxed, and full of friendly vendors. Next is that we can take a day trip to Washpen Falls. About an hour outside Christchurch near Wind Whistle, Washpen Falls is a privately maintained nature walk that feels almost magical. The track loops through volcanic cliffs, lush native bush, and ends with a seriously photogenic waterfall. There's a tiny fee to enter, but it's well worth it, and way less crowded than better-known trails. Next is that we can take a scenic flight over the Canterbury Plains. For a whole new perspective on Christchurch and its surrounding landscape, you can book a scenic flight or heli tour. You can glide over the Canterbury Plains, the Southern Alps, and even spot the coastline stretching toward the banks of peninsula. You can do that with your scenic flight or heli tour. Some operators even offer glacier flyovers or champagne landings in a remote alpine areas. It's a bit of a splurge, but if you want something unforgettable, then this is definitely it. Next is that we can do a horse trek on the Waimakariri riverbed. For something scenic and slow-paced, you can book a horse trek that follows the Waimakariri River. You'll ride along the braided riverbanks and snow-capped mountains in the distance. Total Lord of the Rings vibes, great for beginners too, as most of the horses are gentle and the terrain is flat and open. Next up is that we can try the famous Rollickin gelato on the New Regent Street. Okay, yes, it's just gelato, but Rollickin has built a cult following for a reason. Wild flavors like lemon meringue pie or raspberry lamington, generous scoops, and a funky cafe vibe is just one of those must-visit dessert spots. They even do warm puddings if you're there for the winter, and it's a sweet excuse to visit New Regent Street at night when the pastel buildings lights up. Next is that we can learn about local history at the Canterbury Museum's Quake City exhibit. You've probably seen the main exhibits at the Canterbury Museum, but Quake City, just nearby, offers a focused emotional dive into the 2010 to 2011 earthquakes and their aftermath. It's small but powerful, and you have real stories, interactive displays, and recovered artifacts that explain how the city was reshaped both physically and culturally. Now, let's spend a day at Orana Wildlife Park. So if you remember previously, I said to spend the night. This time, we're spending a day. So Orana Wildlife Park is not just a zoo. It's New Zealand's only open range wildlife park. You'll also find New Zealand natives like the kiwi and tuatara, plus regular animal talks and keeper encounters that make it feel more interactive than a traditional zoo. The park's open layout means animals have more space and visibility, which feels more natural. And it's about 15 minutes outside the city, and honestly, it's one of Christchurch's best family-friendly experiences, especially if you like your wildlife with a side of fresh air and scenery. And now lastly is that we would want to explore the Ngaio Marsh House. You can step into the world of one of the New Zealand's most famous crime writers at the Ngaio Marsh House. Tucked away in the suburb of Kashmir, this was the longtime home of Dame Ngaio Marsh, novelist, theater director, and one of the original queens of crime alongside Agatha Christie. The house has been lovingly preserved with her original furniture, books, and even her writing desk left as it was. Tours are guided and intimate, giving you insights into both her personal life and literary achievements. It's a hidden gem for literature lovers, history buffs, or anyone curious about old Christchurch homes. Just make sure to book in advance as visits are by appointment only. Alright, and this concludes our tour. These are the 60 things that you can do in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.